today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I molded the individual pieces so that I can replicate this set easily. And so when you're watching this video, know that you wouldn't have to do this just for making jewelry, but you can make these molds for little 3D pieces that you make for your clients. Like if you sculpt a little 3D bow, and you have clients that request little 3D bows all the time, you can mold them, and then when a client comes in and says, you know what, I'm feeling like I want a 3D bow, then you can just fill the mold with acrylic and pop it out 3 minutes later and it looks just like the original one. The only way this doesn't work is if there's a hole in it, so if you make the 3D bows that are done with a loop, it doesn't work quite that easily, but any really like 3D but flatter art works perfectly for this, so I'll talk more about that later, but I hope you guys love this, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well. Bye! So we're going to begin by scooping equal parts of the 2 parts of the mold compound together. Now you can weigh this if you want it to be really exact. I personally just had a disposable spoon for each kind, so I'd have 2 different spoons, and I'm going to scoop out about, I don't know, the right size, like a kiwi berry. It's the size I can only think. Yeah, that's what I think of a kiwi berry, of each one. So we've got our 2 kiwi berries, and I'm going to be putting my 2 pieces of the mold compound to the side, and then I'm going to take them, try to get all of it off of my little silicone table mat, and I'm going to mix these together as quickly as I can. I think it says you have a minute to mix it. Don't worry too much about the timing, just try to be quick about mixing it. So mix it up until it's a nice, smooth, even yellow color. And once you have achieved that, roll it into a ball so that there aren't any creases in it anymore. So it's a nice, smooth, even ball. And then press and roll that molding compound around the piece you're trying to mold. So you have to have everything that you're wanting to mold out next to you so that you can quickly grab them and put them in, because you don't have much time to play around with this stuff. Once you have it mixed up, you have, just a couple minutes to mold your pieces. So then after you have that one done, I'm going to press it into a container with a lid. That just helps keep the molds clean so that when you go to use them later, they aren't covered in dust, and it just, keeps them clean and protected. Then we're going to do our next piece. Grab out the same 2 bits of the molding compound, mix it together, repeat the process. So like I said, this is really good if you have a certain piece, a certain 3D element that you are making continuously. This is exactly what you want to do if you want to mold that. The ones you can't do are, like I mentioned, a 3D bow where it has a loop in it, where it's got something where it has to have a hole that goes through it in the middle of the piece, because this is going to create a solid mass. And you could sculpt, or you could mold a bow like that. It just wouldn't have that hole in it, which would kind of take away from some of the effect of those really beautiful bows. But for other things, you certainly can do this. The other thing you can do that's really cool is you can take these molds and mold something else. Like for instance, a cameo. If you want to mold a cameo or a button or something of that nature, you can mold them, and then you can fill them in with acrylic, and you can make different pieces out of acrylic for your home. So if you have a button on a shirt that you lost one and you need to, make another one and you want it to be exactly the same, you can mold it with this molding putty. Then you can fill it in with acrylic, and you can either paint all your buttons or try to match it with the color of acrylic, or whatever it is that you want to do to make it match color wise, but you can have the pattern be exact, and that is such a cool thing. So the pieces that I'm molding are pieces of my necklace and jewelry, or my necklace and earring set that are polished bottles. So I have the tops and bottoms and the brushes and the drip piece for that set, and that's what I am molding for this. And so if you're doing it for jewelry, that works. But there are other applications for it, and there are just so many cool things that you could do. Another thing you could do is, I've seen people do this before, where they will mold a doll's face, like a Barbie's face, and then you can fill that in with acrylic, and then you have a blank face that you can practice face painting on. So like you can make little faces, you can make your own homemade dolls by molding their face. Now, not saying that you want to do that, but you could if you so desired. So this is just such a fun thing because the acrylic pops right out, and it's just a great technique to have in your back pocket. Now, once the time indicated on your molding package has elapsed, so for me, I believe it was 30 minutes, then you can pop out all of your pieces, and do so carefully so that you don't accidentally rip the mold, especially the first time. Like I have all this wire in it that I probably won't have in the mold in the future, just so that you don't accidentally, rip the mold anywhere or tear it. It's really pretty durable, but I'm just wanting to err on the side of caution. So you can just take everything out, all of those pieces, and there is no residue left on the acrylic. It is all, perfectly smooth and beautiful, just like it was when it went in, with no oiliness or anything like that. And so you can take out that piece, and then I just have one left to remove, and all of the shapes that I sculpted in, that I took the time to work on and
you know, create are there. So then when I go to replicate this, it is, you know, really pretty quick and easy. There's just some, you know, little touches up that may need to be done, but otherwise it's good to go. If you're interested in purchasing a set of that necklace and earrings, there will be a link down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!